All right, let's get real for a second. Have you ever had one tiny, insignificant thing go wrong, and suddenly your entire day is just completely torched? Yeah, we're going to break down why our brains love to do that to us, and more importantly, how to actually get your life back.
I'm serious. Think about it. Is that voice inside your head constantly pointing out your flaws, imagining the worst-case scenario, and just generally bringing down the vibe? If you're nodding along right now, stick around. Turns out you're in good company.
So to really get this, let me introduce you to this dude, Nickel. Now, Nickel's a great guy, but man, he's sensitive. And for him, the smallest, most random things could send him on a 3-day emotional roller coaster.
Just look at this. The gap between what actually happens and Nick Hill's reaction is huge. A friend cracks a joke and he's questioning his entire existence for days. His boss gives him a totally normal note, and in his head, he's already packing his desk. Someone takes a minute to text back, it's over. He's been ghosted for life. It sounds dramatic, but in the moment, that feeling is 100% real.
And this is the whole deal right here. For Nickel, there was absolutely no difference between a feeling and a fact. If he felt like a failure, then boom, he was a failure, end of story. His whole identity was completely wrapped up in these emotions that, let's be honest, change like the weather. So, Nickel gets totally burnt out from living this way. He's fried. And he ends up at this meditation workshop, kind of skeptical, you know? But then he hears this one idea that just completely flips a switch in his brain, a total vibe shift.
And the idea is this: the Watcher. Now, this isn't some weird mystical thing. It's actually super simple. It's just that part of you, that part of your awareness, that can step back and just notice your thoughts. It can see the anger or see the anxiety without getting swept away by it.
And then his teacher hits him with this quote, and it just lands perfectly. You are not the clouds, you are the sky. Just think about that for a second. All your thoughts, your moods, your feelings, they're just clouds. They roll in, they look intense for a bit, and then they drift away. But you're the sky. You're the vast open space that all of it happens in. The clouds aren't you. So, how do you actually do this? It's almost stupidly simple. First, you just notice it. Like, oh, hey, there's that anxiety again. Step 2, and this is key, you don't fight it. You don't judge yourself for having it. You just let it be. And step 3, you just watch it, like you're watching a cloud, knowing it's just passing through. Now, to really make this stick, you gotta understand something fundamental about your brain. The truth is, your brain is an absolute drama queen. For real. It's a natural-born storyteller, and it loves to cast you as the tragic hero in a movie where everything is a disaster.
Okay, so let's go back to Nickel. Picture this. He's at work, he gives a presentation, his boss comes up and says, hey, that was good, but it could be a little clearer. Pretty standard feedback, right? No big deal.
Ha! Not to his brain. To Nickel's brain, this was the opening scene of a 5-star Oscar-worthy tragedy. And his brain was the writer, director, and producer. And check out the script his brain wrote in like half a second. It goes from, could be clearer, straight to, he hates my work. From there, it snowballs to, I'm definitely getting fired, then full-blown meltdown, my career is over. And the grand finale? Everyone knows I'm a fraud. See how fast that spiral happens? It's an epic drama, all from one little comment.
So, what's the deal? Why is our brain so extra? Well, it's basically running on some really old software. It's wired for survival, not for your happiness. It evolved to constantly look for threats, like, lions in the bushes. The problem is it hasn't really updated, so now your boss's email gets the same red alert treatment as a saber-toothed tiger.
And all this mental drama, it doesn't just stay in your head. Oh no, it leaks out into your actions. And it usually shows up as good old-fashioned self-sabotage, especially when you're right on the edge of leveling up.
So let's meet the usual suspects, the 3 horsemen of self-sabotage. First up, you've got the perfectionist, whose motto is, if it ain't perfect, it's trash. Then you've got the procrastinator, always saying, I'll get to it when I feel ready, which, spoiler, is never. And finally, the controller, who thinks that they can just micromanage every single thing, nothing bad can ever happen. Exhausting, right?
But here's the game-changing realization Nickel had. These things weren't his personality. He wasn't a procrastinator. He was using procrastination as a defense mechanism. It was just a scared part of his brain trying to protect him from ever failing or being criticized. These were just old strategies that were way past their expiration date.
Which brings us right back to the solution. How do you break this cycle? It's all about making that shift. You stop being the star of the drama and you become the person in the audience, just watching it unfold. It's all about becoming the watcher.
And this slide just lays it out so perfectly. The old way is all about reacting. Anger hits, you snap at someone, and then you spend the next 2 hours regretting it. The new way, it's about watching. Anger hits, you notice it, you take a breath, and you let it pass without letting it drive the car. Fear hits, you don't run away. You feel it, you acknowledge it, and you do the thing anyway. That's a real power move.
And let's get one thing straight. This is not about becoming some emotionless robot. It's not about pushing your feelings down. It's about feeling everything fully, but not letting those feelings hijack the cockpit. You're the pilot. They're just noisy passengers. You don't have to listen to them.
So when it all comes down to it, here's the big takeaway. You can't really stop your brain from creating drama. It's what it does. But you don't have to buy a front row ticket to the show every single time. The real freedom is realizing you are not the crazy stories your mind tells you. You're the one listening to them. And once you see that, well, that changes everything.